Welcome to Improv for the Podcast. On this week's episode, we're joined by Sarah Dandashy, who will tell us all about her improvisational journey. We'll play a couple games and, most importantly, learn how she improved her life. Let's hit it. Welcome to Improv for the Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Lee Evans, and tonight I am joined by author, travel expert, and so many things more, Sarah Dandashy. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh my gosh, do we get I need an extra round of applause for that.
All right,
energy, you brought the energy with that.
You know, we're coming in hot tonight.
I am.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See, I've got competition. You've had a Celsius before this.
Yes.
And I had espresso. So this is really this is coffee versus energy drinks tonight.
I mean,
that's the battle we're seeing.
It's just caffeine versus caffeine. And it's all good.
Yeah, it's all the same thing at the end of the day.
I know it is.
Yeah, just different forms.
I call it my happy juice.
That's good.
Weird.
I don't know. Are you a coffee or an energy drink person, or both? You mix?
I dabble.
You dabble. Okay.
I dabble. I'm caffeine agnostic.
Questioning everything.
I know. No. I'm open to all of it. There's actually even caffeine gummies.
Really?
Yes, and fun. Yeah, I actually was a spokesperson for a caffeine gummy company, Punched Energy.
Punched Energy. Are they like little gummy bears?
Yeah, not quite gummy bears, but actually like
disappointing.
Yeah, no, tasty though.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I'm back in.
Yeah, you should be. I should have brought.
I'd want like a worm or something, be like, this worm gives me energy.
I'm into that.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, I'll say something to the CEO for you.
Okay, yeah, if you could, drop a line.
Yeah, I'll drop that nugget.
Yeah. I don't know how they're doing as a company, but, maybe for next quarter, if they want their numbers.
Into it.
Yeah, up. So, Sarah, I'm looking at this sign behind me, or a well-lit sign, and I'm just curious.
Beautiful.
What's your relationship to this old place, IFTP?
Improv for the people. So, funny enough, Matthew Moore and I actually go way back in the hotel industry.
Okay.
So we actually never worked at the same hotel at the same time, but we know a lot of the same people. And so we've met through just knowing other people in the hospitality industry. And what I always loved about what he was doing with Improv for the People is I felt a lot of synergy with it, or that I related to it, because I worked in hotels, but that was always my day job.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of improv as well as sketch comedy, dabbled in stand-up. Cool. Yeah, dabbled. Thank goodness there's no video of that. You do
we'll find it. Find it in the linked up.
Perfect. So what I always, and that's why I was really connected with him, because I felt like there was a lot of similarities as far as at least in our interests, and being able to kind of combine that sort of professional world that you get in the world of hospitality and hotels, and then this love for improv and performing and, just thinking on our feet. So that's kind of how I got connected to it many, many years ago. But then I finally started taking classes probably like 10 months ago.
10 months ago. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, you're coming up on a year.
Yeah, I am. So, but I did dabble in improv before, but this is definitely my studio of choice. Like for sure, hands down, just FYI.
All right. Well, we're glad to hear it, and we're glad that you're here.
Of course.
And we're going to talk about that a little more a little later. But before we do, Sarah.
Sure.
We got to play some Three Things.
Okay.
All right. So Three Things, it's a favorite here on the show, and it's about you. It's going to get personal.
Okay.
But not that personal.
Obviously.
So I'll pull up our categories here. All right. I'll start us off. I'll say, I'll intro the game, give you the category, and we're just going to go back to back
perfect.
to back. Three categories, 3 things in each one.
Bring it.
All right. These are 3 things. Here we go. First category, best airport foods.
Ooh. Popcorn.
1.
Laffy Taffy.
2.
I don't even know if that's a food. That's awkward. And the Delta cookies.
Delta cookies. 3. Very nice. Next category.
All right.
Favorite dance moves.
Oh my gosh, the worm.
1. Classic.
Is it? Oh, the Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch. 2.
And then the Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit.
This
3.
is me. That's a very weird version of doing the Roger Rabbit in the chair. But yeah,
it's a little difficult sitting down.
Yeah, it is.
All right, last category for you,
Okay.
Sarah. Underrated travel destinations.
Oh, Malta,
1,
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. Okay. MIA is from there, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. All right, very nice. These are 3 things.
Woo!
All right, let's circle back. Why did I ask you about airport foods?
Why did you?
Yeah. Why do you think?
Because you are planning your next meal?
Well, yeah. Popcorn, Laffy Taffy, and Delta cookies are, that's what's for dinner.
That's hot girl meals right there. I'm kidding.
That's girl dinner. You know?
That's girl dinner.
Yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time in airports. My background is hotels, but my job is I work with a lot of travel brands. So I work with different hotels, destinations, and I'm always on the road. So I do spend a lot of time in airports.
Yeah. You've got it down.
I do have it down, actually.
Yeah.
I got a lot of secrets.
Yeah. And I guess Laffy Taffy, I mean, that's a good choice. I like the banana one.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say the banana.
It's so good.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's got jokes on the wrapper.
It does.
They're not good, but they're on there.
They're like dad jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Written by little kids, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, you're right.
I feel like they lie about that. I'm like, who are these kids mailing Laffy Taffy these jokes?
This is, I mean,
Yeah.
they're probably still like receiving or opening up letters from like 1986 or something.
Like, we just got to 87. We've got a ton more letters to go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. These Reagan jokes are not popular.
That didn't age well. Did not age well at all.
All right. Next category, favorite dance moves. What ask you about dance moves?
Well, I love to dance.
There it is.
So
Yeah.
I love to dance, and it's interesting. Many years ago, I was doing some photos. I also love murals, and there's a lot of cool murals in LA. And I was doing taking some photos in front of a mural, and then, like, as a joke, I just started dancing and came to find out that the photographer was videoing me.
Oh.
So the next thing you know, I have this random video of me dancing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to slap a song on this and just share it on social media. And I was so nervous because I was also like, I'm like the hotel girl. Like, I get travel advice. Like, people think I'm serious.
Yeah.
Little do they know, not serious at all. But I was like, okay, does this make sense for my brand? Because I do have an online brand, and that's a whole story in and of itself. Yeah. But I ended up sharing it, and I was so nervous, and people loved it. And then I started sharing more, and then I would find myself in different destinations, and like I was in Prague dancing in front of the John Lennon wall, and next thing you know, strangers came up and they were dancing with me as well too. And by the way, I should say I was doing this before everybody was dancing on TikTok, so I was like, that was the cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when everybody started dancing on TikTok, I was like, been there, done that.
I got it.
They're copying me.
You're just following me.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, love dancing.
Ah, that's amazing.
Oh, fun fact.
Fun fact.
We like fun facts? I'm going to be
we love
full of, okay. I was actually part of the hip hop dance group at Georgetown when I went to college. Yes. Not only was I the tallest person in the group, I was also the person with the lightest skin. You're welcome.
You're welcome. That is a fun fact. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Hip hop dance crew at Georgetown.
Woo, Groove Theory.
Groove Theory. Oh, that's a good name. That's a good name. Groove Theory.
Okay, I'm going to not pop and I can't pop and lock. I'm not even going to pretend.
Okay, me neither. All right, that last category. We kind of already answered this, but we said underrated travel destinations. You said Malta.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Sri Lanka and
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice. What made you choose those 3 destinations?
Okay, so I love Malta. Like, probably one of my favorite destinations, and it's more popular for Europeans to go to. So as Americans, we just normally don't think about it, but it's so cool, and it's right there in the middle of the Mediterranean. You've got this mix of different cultures, and because basically it's an island in the Mediterranean, and over the years and centuries, it's been owned by so many different countries or nations or whatever they were at the time, tribes. I'm kidding. So, they speak Arabic, they speak Italian. They've got this whole interesting mix. So that's why I love that. Sri Lanka, again, another destination not a lot of Americans go to. Also more Europeans, so tend to go there. And then why I chose Nicaragua is everybody thinks about Costa Rica, fantastic, but Nicaragua is like what Costa Rica was 10 years ago. So
before I'd gotten a little too over traveled, let's say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Good to know.
You moonlight as a travel expert?
Not at all. No.
Well, you sound like you
Not
are.
at all, but I'll pretend to be.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till I make it. Yeah, it's like travel tip. Easy shoes at the airport.
That's actually a great travel tip.
Yeah, that's
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I only know that. Well, I know that I guess from experience, but also you know the movie Up in the Air.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you relate to that movie? George Clooney's character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the details of his finely packed suitcase and like all those things I thought were very interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I have it down to a science, and I know what will I know how to make sure that I don't get that the metal detector doesn't go off when I go through TSA.
Right.
And if it does, I'm like, oh, something's different, and it's either because I'm randomly wearing boots, which I normally don't wear, or I add a new bracelet because I know everything that I'm wearing, it should not go off. And if it does, oh, here's another fun fact. This bracelet does not come off my arm. I have been wearing it since
medically or
well, no, I mean like medically.
It's not going to come off.
No, like a tree. I grew into it. So when I was 5 years old, my mom put this on, and then basically I grew into it, and so it doesn't come off. You can take it off if they use jewelry scissors and they end up like cutting it. But yeah, so every so often this will set off the metal detector, which means they have their detector way too sensitive.
Yeah.
But if it is, and anybody has a similar situation, if you hold it like this, so you basically put your finger and your thumb around it, so you put it separate from your body, you can walk through like this and it will not set off the metal detector. You're welcome. Sorry, TSA.
Pro tip. That's a reason to watch the video version right there because you would have seen how Sarah held it.
Yes, there you go. Go to the video.
Priceless.
Yeah, it is.
Right. That's been on your wrist since you were 5 years old.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
That's
kind of wild, right?
Yeah,
Not many people can say that.
No, I don't know anyone who can say that about anything.
Well, okay.
Like this ear has been on my head since I was 5, but also before that.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
That's
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and I'm sure we'll get into, as one does casually grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Of course.
Obviously. And and so my mom got this at some Bedouin bazaar jewelry place and was like, I'm going to have my little girl wear a gold bracelet for the rest of her life.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I guess.
When I was playing basketball, when I was a teenager, I so badly wanted to cut it off because we basically had to wear like sweatbands around it because you had to cover it.
Yeah,
so you didn't like
want to hit anyone.
Yeah,
like that,
exactly. Yeah. And I remember asking my mom to cut it off, and she was like, "Absolutely not." And I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. But I was, what do you know?
At that age,
what do you know?
I don't want this.
You're like, I don't want this gold ring. Yeah. Ring, I mean bracelet, whatever. I don't want this gold bracelet. Sorry. Clearly, only child, making myself laugh. We're good.
There you go. Well, I think that's very cool. Cool. All right. So we got to talk improv, Sarah.
Yeah, we do.
That's why we're here.
Totally.
That's what brought us together.
Yes.
So I want you to think back.
Okay.
Maybe it was around the bracelet times. Maybe it was after the bracelet times.
Sure.
When you first received it. Pre-gold bracelet or post-gold bracelet.
Oh my God.
But the question is, when did you first learn about? Maybe there was a whisper on the wind of the word improv, the concept of improv.
Okay. I actually started doing improv at a pretty young age. Now that I think about it, I knew that I always was interested in performing, and I was obsessed with the Renaissance Festival. Oh, yeah, dude, this is about to get weird. Okay, so I'm like 14 years old, and I'm living in Atlanta, Georgia. So I went to from 8 to 18, I lived in Atlanta, and they have the Georgia Ren Fest there. Ooh. And my mom would take me. I totally loved it. And when I was 14 years old, I found out that I could actually audition for it. And so I went. I got like one of those like young monologue books. Chose a monologue from it. We all know it. We all know it. I so remember that first audition in this random theater near Little 5 Points in Atlanta, and I actually think my knees were knocking. I was so where you're just so nervous and your legs are shaking. Yeah. And they were so nice to me, and they were like, "Okay, you did a wonderful job." And then their feedback was like, "You're a little young, but come back next year, and we can see what we can do." And so I came back next year when I was 15. and auditioned, and I got it. And I was an apprentice. Ooh. So I basically got paid a stipend of $125 for the entire season.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was like 10 weeks. Like what on earth? I mean, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I know.
A little more than $10 a week.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And so because I was tall, I'm still tall, and they were like, well, we'll have you kind of like we'll have you be a fairy so that you can like work with the kids as opposed you're not going to be a kissing wench at 15.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
totally
probably
fair.
A good call on their
totally
part.
fair.
Yeah.
But of course, like I'm tall, so I'm like, how on like you think of a fairy, you would think of at least some of the women being more petite. So. We had to come up with this whole backstory. I was like, I was a young fairy, and as you get older, you shrink in age. So I was only 328 years old, whatever. So I basically learned improv there, and then every week I would basically improv as my character, Periwinkle Fairy Sprite, for 8 hours a day at 15, 16 years old. And then dabbled in it a little bit in college. This is another random fun story. Okay, wow, I'm full of stories tonight. Okay,
We're
cool.
here for the stories.
Perfect. So, two different comedians that some people might know. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why am I blanking? Oh my gosh. What are their names?
You got it.
No, I do. Oh my God. He's with Olivia Munn. What the heck is his name?
Oh, John Mulaney.
Yeah, John Mulaney, and then oh gosh, who did? It's John Mulaney, and then but this is horrible, by the way, that I cannot remember.
It's okay
because I'm not a name dropper.
Find it, Periwinkle.
No, I'm gonna find it, and then I'm gonna give you a clean take here.
Okay.
You can, if you want that, or you can also show me struggling.
Sometimes the joys in the struggle.
The joy is always
productive
in the
struggle. Right.
And oh gosh, and. He's another comedian who dated Amy. I love that I know who everybody dates.
Will Arnett.
No,
but not Will Arnett.
Close.
Okay.
Close.
Post Will Arnett or pre Will Arnett.
No, it's Joel.
Joel McHale.
No. Nick Kroll. Okay.
Oh,
perfect.
Nick Kroll. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, Mulaney and Kroll. Yeah. They've done a ton of stuff together.
Okay. So get this. So, my kind of like second bout of improv is I actually go and I audition for the improv group at Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
And I'm same year as John Mulaney, and Nick Kroll is like a senior that year. And I end up going and auditioning, getting actually pretty far. And it was between myself and actually one other female. And because I think they were specifically being like, we need to have like more females in the group.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Improv troops, they're like...
Fair enough. And I end up getting super sick. Like super, super sick for like the final callback. And I went, but I was not on my A game. Not to say that, I mean, I might not have gotten it anyway. Yeah. But then, the other girl got it. They became part of the group, and I was like, oh, well, that's a bummer. And then I just was like, okay, well, maybe I'm just not cool enough, which is such a shame, because it's like, how cool that I could have been closer friends with all of them, but you were so like, oh, I guess I wasn't good enough to be part of that group. Yeah. And then fast forward, look and see what they've done with their careers.
Not much.
You make me feel so much better about myself. Yeah. Thanks.
I mean, you couldn't even remember their names. So, I mean,
oh my God, that's horrible. No. Don't say that. Don't say that. Tag them both in here.
Yeah. Just right in this moment. Yeah. Clip this. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's horrible.
Yeah. Okay. I want to circle back to the Ren Faires real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's.
Well, one, that sounds awesome. I mean, criminally underpaid, but but like,
what do you do? What do you do?
What can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do? Go back?
I mean, it was, I guess, technically my first job. I wasn't really in the position to negotiate at 15.
Yeah, be like, I need a few more gold coins. Like, please. Yeah.
Or do you have a gold pence, please? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my God.
Did you I've never been to a Ren Fest.
Oh, you were missing out.
I think I would very much enjoy it just because I'm into like the lords, ladies, and like all that speak, and like it's fun to do that kind of medieval.
Oh, I'm into it.
Accent, whether you're like a peasant or a noble or whatever.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, And there's a lot of elements actually from that we play. As far as status and playing with accents and body language. Oh, I mean, it's honestly kind of amazing, an amazing way to kind of get introduced to improv and to have to live, breathe, and eat this random character that you develop for 8 hours.
Yeah, and you're just yes-anding all the different
All day.
folks who are coming through, the kids.
Totally.
I'm sure parents too, and adults.
100%.
Yeah, you're just on your toes the whole time. Mm-hmm. That sounds like
Isn't
fun.
that kind of fun?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, it was a cool thing because it's like you do workshop it, you develop your character, and they give you homework assignments like leading up to when the season opens. So then you get an idea of who your character is, and then you come up with a couple of different bits. So you have like an arsenal of bits to do
to
with
pull
the
out,
people. Yeah. So being a fairy sprite, I would obviously do like wish making things and like, and doing spells on people that are really not much of
but just they play along, you play along.
Yeah, and it's fun. Yeah. It was really cool.
That sounds great.
Right?
Sounds great.
I know. I might still have that costume somewhere. So, yeah.
They might need you.
Yeah, they might need me. I can,
They're like, we're looking for
a tall
we need a fairy.
we need a tall blonde
we need a
fairy spray.
periwinkle. I'm like 328 years old.
Oh my gosh. It's like they typecast me.
Okay. Oh man, that's amazing. I'm gonna admit this. I'm looking into going to medieval times soon.
Okay.
I haven't been since I was a kid.
I haven't been since I was very young.
I'm just going. Yeah. Let's just be transparent. I'm turning 30 soon.
Okay.
So I was like 30th birthday, medieval times.
First of all, I love that you were shy about that. You're like, let's be transparent.
Let's be transparent.
That's a great birthday.
People are asking. They're like, how old is that? No, nobody's asking.
No, they are banging on your door being like, Dad, tell us how old you are.
Yeah, the fans are demanding.
I mean, now they know.
Yeah, both of them. They're at home right now.
All two of them.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. No, that's a great birthday.
Yeah.
I did a roller skating party for my 30th birthday.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
My wife was going to do that, but she changed her plans. But roller skating was the plan initially.
But I like medieval times.
Pivoted. Yeah.
Like how many? Are you going to do a group of 30?
Oh, no. I'm just going to. I have too much.
Oh, my God. That would be a lot.
Yeah. I think I just have like a friend, maybe a couple friends. We're going to be like our little group. And then just, I'm gonna buy into it, and be like, bring me another ale, and just like have a good time. Or sorry, bring me another water.
Could I have another turkey leg, good sir?
Yes. My lord, there's another more soup for the wife. Yes.
Could I have some gravy?
A wineskin, please.
Wine? Oh my God, I love it.
I don't think they serve it like that, but
no, I don't think so either. But I would be into it.
Yeah. So just your talk of the Ren Fair. I'm like, this is about to be my life.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. Just 2 hours of pure medieval bliss.
Yeah, and you're wow. That's only 2 hours.
I know.
You need to do that on like a Friday or Saturday night, and then then the next day go to like the Renaissance Festival.
Just roll it over
for sure.
Just make it a whole thing.
Yeah, the whole. So by Monday, like you cannot talk in anything other than Cockney.
Oh, don't stop. No,
yeah, no,
you're selling it.
Yeah,
I'm there. I'm there. We're gonna change the podcast. We're just gonna do medieval. That's all it's gonna be.
Medieval improv.
Oh, I think people would. Hate
it's improv for the plebeians.
Oh,
you're welcome.
I'm just a. I'm not even gonna. Just a surf. My liege lord has given me a mere 30 minutes to take a break and record this episode.
I love it.
He sends it out to the local castle. Coming from the fields, it's been a hard day. My son is sick with diphtheria.
And scurvy.
Scurvy, yes. The tangerines are not growing well this year, so we've only eaten corn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, there we go.
This is happening.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Got it. I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Complete with my periwinkle outfit.
Oh, done. All right. So to get us back on track, so you had the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's improv. Like,
yeah, 100%.
You are working with the common people. That's the harshest audience out there.
Yeah.
Because they're there. They spent money. They're going to judge you. 100%. They're going to judge every interaction they have during that day. So like, you had a responsibility there to build that environment, the immersion.
15 years old.
Yeah.
That's kind of young.
Especially a fairy, that's a lot of pressure because like little kids are like, yo, I think fairies are real, but I'm not sure. I'm going to find out at the Ren Fair.
Perfect. And then I had like the wings and all that.
Yeah, kids' hopes and dreams were on your fairy shoulders.
It was like the female version of Santa Claus.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, Tooth Fairy, right? That's a prominent fairy figure we all know.
I might as well just been the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, might as well. as well. So you do improv at the Ren Fair. You get a ton of great reps in.
Yeah.
You go to college. This improv thing doesn't work out. We'll blame the flu, the illness, whatever it was.
The avian flu.
And maybe like Nick Kroll's lack of compassion, perhaps.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't wait to bump into him one day and be like, dude, remember that time? You remember me, bro?
Yeah. Oh, Nick, you want a travel recommendation? Too bad.
Yeah, you're lost, buddy.
Yeah. So, okay. So you do this improv. I mean, obviously you were a performer from a young age. It sounds like, I mean, you're doing the Ren Fair and you had an interest in doing that. You bought that monologue book, you know, it was in your DNA.
Yeah, pretty much.
So college, improv thing doesn't work out. But it sounds like you were doing some other types of creative work performing. You were in the dance team.
Yeah, I was on the dance team. I did a couple of acting classes there. I was part of the theater club. And then actually, wow, I'm digging deep here, but I co-founded the film club as well too. So it was at the time, where people were really kind of starting to get into filming their own things. Now it's super easy to do. We can just do it on our phones.
Yeah, it's too easy.
But at the time, it was definitely rare for people. It was like a big undertaking. If you're like, I'm gonna make a film, it was like, oh, I mean, I'm not that old, but I mean, but it was still just like not as easy as it is today.
Not like now. Everyone's got it in their pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And so I definitely always had an interest in film and TV and performing and my specific major. So I was in the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown, which is basically a fancy foreign relations degree. But they had the major specifically that I was under was called culture and politics. And what I loved about that is the culture element because entertainment, performing arts is
culture.
all part. Yeah, it's the culture. Yeah, and got to study music, the history of music in American history. So so cool. It's awesome.
That sounds like a great major.
Yeah, it sounds like I mean, it had its moments.
Ups and downs. Every major does.
Yes.
You're like, what is this class?
Those econ classes, we could have done without those.
Yikes.
But that's all right.
That does not sound great.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, steered clear of that. All right.
For sure. Good luck.
So you finished college. You founded a film club. You've done some dancing.
I've done some things.
Yeah. What happens post-college? Are you like, I'm getting into trying to figure out what my career is? Are you still doing a little performing on the side?
Yeah, so I always knew I wanted to do sort of film and TV. So actually, while I was going to school at Georgetown, a lot of people were studying abroad, naturally. And because I actually lived overseas as a kid, I was like, well, why would I go study abroad? Like, that's fine, but what am I going to get out of studying in France for a year, as wonderful as that is? I knew that wasn't going to be helpful as far as moving the meter in my career. So even though I always had an interest in film and TV, I didn't major in that. But at the time, NYU was doing a program called Spring at Tisch. And so I applied for that. And so I always like to say I studied abroad. I studied across the Hudson. But I basically ended up going to NYU. I know.
Paddling between classes every day. That must have been brutal. The canoe commute. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. So basically, there I studied producing and acting. I got into the Lee Strasberg Institute there and was able to do that for a semester and part of a summer and before coming back to Georgetown to finish up. When I came back to Georgetown, I also had an internship in radio. So I was working for Hot 99.5, which was the Clear Channel the Clear Channel station in Washington, D.C. I was an intern, and within a few months, I was asked to be assistant producer of the morning show. Wow. So imagine, I'm like finishing up school. I was like bartending on the side, working at a hotel. Yeah. Then I was also waking up at 4 a.m. to go be on the morning show, which is crazy because when you look back on the things and the opportunities that you had at maybe 19 or 20, you look at them in such a different way. Yeah. And at the time I was just like, I'm just tired. Yeah. Where maybe I might have been more strategic, if I was older having that opportunity. But anyway, I obviously always had a love for music, and there's an element of entertainment and performing in that as well too. And so funny to fast forward and be involved in so many podcasts.
Yeah.
Which, I'm like, yeah, I know my way around a good microphone. So
Definitely. I mean, yeah, the podcast is just an evolution of, I think, the morning radio show, really, and talk radio in general.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, you can see obviously dabbling a lot in.
Yeah, you had your hands in many different things.
Yeah, but all in a creative element and all within entertainment. But I knew that I wanted to come out to Los Angeles. And so, but I had more connections in New York City because I was also on the East Coast.
Yeah,
so
you've been doing school and those sorts of things.
So I basically go to New York for a little bit to just kind of like get on my feet right after college, and I'm there for about 6 months. I'm taking some acting classes as well, but just nothing is seeming to stick. And next thing you know, I get the opportunity to move out to LA. There's a school here, and they're starting actually the Lee Strasberg School out here. So they had acting classes, but they were just starting their film school. So I was their third student.
Wow.
And I was the first one that came in that was like, I want to do a hybrid because they were either like, oh, you're either in the film school, you're in the acting school. And I was like, I would like both, please.
Yeah.
And so they made an exception. And so I basically was taking film classes as well as acting classes and moved out to LA. And then I was looking for a day job, and then I ended up in hotels. So pretty much fresh out of the gate, I was doing this mix of I had the entertainment going on with acting classes and pursuing that part of my career. But then the day job was very much working in a hotel as a concierge.
Wow.
Which my brand is, my social media brand is Ask a Concierge. Ding, ding. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to circle back on one thing.
Yeah.
Because I find you're the person who might know the answer to this question.
I hope so.
What does it mean when a radio station is like, we're going to take a brief moment to pause for station ID? And then, they'll be like, Rock 105.3.
I should know that answer. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, but the station ID would just be,
I guess they're...
just that. I think it's like, because they're basically just saying they're late. I don't know.
But it's like, I know what I'm listening to. I chose this,
True. You know what I would think? I would think it goes way back in the day to when people would record things like on tapes and stuff.
Got it.
And so it's almost like their way of doing like a watermark. It's an audio
It
watermark.
like pops up, every so often.
Actually,
right? 'Cause they do
I
that multiple
100%
times.
know that I don't know this, but I'm confident in my answer. I think it's an audio watermark.
I mean, that makes sense. So we're just going to say that's fact.
That's
it's
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Audio watermark, station ID. Because I'm picturing you. You're like, welcome to Hot 99.5. I'm Sarah Dandashy, and we're going to take a moment for station ID. Hot 99.5.
Oh my God.
Coming at you, DC, fresh in the morning. And then it's like, does that whole thing.
By the way, there were so many crazy moments with that because they would have me go out with like the stunt guy. And then there was this, and I would always end up calling in or being out and like saying the dumb stuff that they would end up like clipping. Like I was out with the stunt guy and it was like 4th of July. We ended up wrapping fireworks around him and then lighting it off. And then next thing, as one does.
Yeah.
And of course the cops come and then who's the weak person in the group? Me. Oh. So they all like come to me and they're like, what are you doing? You know this is illegal? I'm like, I don't know. And then next thing you know, I'm calling into the station. I'm like, I don't know, but they talked about like we might get arrested. I'm like, I can't get arrested. I went to Georgetown. Yeah. Okay, that line just haunted me forever. And then my mom called in one time.
Clip that, make it a soundbite.
Oh yeah. Oh totally. Yeah. I was soundbite. And then my mother was a soundbite when she called in and she was like, play 50 Cent, PIMP, pimp. And I was like, Mom, you did not just say that on radio. And for the longest time, it was like, play 50 Cent, PIMP, pimp. In her total mom voice. Yeah. Yeah, good times. We're really popular in the Washington, D.C. area radio world.
Amazing. That's good.
Oh, by the way, like some of these stories I haven't even thought of in a very long time. So I'm digging deep for you.
You don't take up the Hot 99.5 days too often.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm gonna have to ask my wife because she grew up in that area.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna be like, do you know like
early
Hot
2000s?
Yeah.
And to be like, do you remember Miss Sarah D? They called me Miss Sarah D because obviously Dandashy is way too complicated for
so
most
you
people.
Like that radio name.
And then it was after that is when I became Dan Dizzle.
Dan Dizzle. Ooh, we've got Dan Dizzle here on Hot 99.5.
Sarah Dan Dizzle in the house.
She went to Georgetown. Can't be arrested.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I might live. Yeah, you're
see,
gonna use that
you
as a
just brought it
soundbite
back,
now. Yeah, good job.
You can't, we can't escape our past sometimes.
This is true.
This is true. We just got to own it. And you did. You told the story.
I
So
did
you
tell
owned
this.
it.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know I was going to tell the story,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Here we are. All right. So your radio days, you wrap up there. You move to LA. You're taking acting classes. You're doing the hybrid program at the Strasberg Institute.
Yeah.
LA edition. You're the third student. But also, you get into the hotel business.
Yeah.
Which is like the start of kind of who you are now.
Yeah,
Right? Ask
totally.
a concierge. So like, tell me about that journey.
Yeah, so I started in hotels when I was going to school in
Right.
DC.
Bartending.
So yeah, and as a host at the Four Seasons there, and so that was a great sort of way to kind of get introduced to it because they had a really wonderful program as far as grooming people and teaching people what proper service is. And then when I come out here, I was like, okay, maybe I can do more of the bartending route. And the general manager was like, I think you'd make a good concierge. And I was like, okay, well, I know enough about that, but like, you got to know about the city. I'm like, I just moved here, but I'm really good with maps. Like I'm trying to sell myself.
Yeah. You're like, Thomas Brothers, I'm all over it.
Yeah, all over it. MapQuest, I got you.
Print it.
Done. And he was like, yeah, you'll be fine. And so, so that's how I pretty much became a concierge. And I just found that a lot of it actually, and this is interesting because I knew nothing. Like I knew nothing. And I not only nothing, but it's like I'd have, people would come and request like they want to rent a Hummer or they need to book like a private plane to somewhere and have it catered by Nobu and like crazy stuff when you're like 23 years old.
You don't have the experience.
But what was it? And I'm actually putting really two and two together. I always say this normally when I talk to hospitality people, but I had the right mindset and basically had an improv mindset, which is yes and.
Yeah.
And it really was. Yeah. And so and I always say it's like it's not about knowing the answer, but it's knowing about how to find it. And even just saying, right?
Yeah, let's just click. We'll get to it. Keep going.
And so I would very much say, I'm not quite sure, but let me go ahead and find that out for you. Yeah. And because I was eager to find out whatever it was that they were asking for, it gave me so much grace and wiggle room. People didn't care if I didn't know the answer right away. Because also me showing interest in whatever they were requesting, whether it was, can you please fill my bathtub full of tapenade? I'm not sure if we can do that, but let me, that was a joke. That did not actually happen.
I hope so, yeah.
Well, I'm imagining that going down the drain. But yeah, that's gross.
That tub's done, yeah.
Show is. But, again, it was just all about having that right mindset. And it's crazy because I actually have not put two and two together until right now as we're talking about this. But that was very much what I did every day as a concierge is, yes, and let me find out for you, whatever the request was. So... Yeah, that's kind of fun.
I love that.
I know.
See, this is the good stuff.
This is the good stuff.
I work in IT, and in a role where it's very much, someone has a problem, they come to me, I help them fix it. But it's very much that I don't know how to solve everything.
Of course not.
Computers are always coming up with new ways to not work.
Yes, they are.
And, they come to me, they ask that question. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna find out. And then, that's half the job.
That's
It's just
totally.
being like, oh yeah, I'm sorry that's happening. I'm gonna work on that and see what we find and figure this out.
Completely.
I'm like a computer concierge, I guess.
You are.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's interesting.
I know, right?
Just you saying that, I was like, wow.
Oh, it's what
I do that in a different capacity, but the crossover there.
It's anything in customer service.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
And it really is and it is about having that open mindset. Mm-hmm. And so, I just, wow, I'm loving that we're kind of discovering this together. That improv element is so critical to any sort of customer service.
Yeah, and it's right in there, like you said. Yeah. It's that like acknowledging the request and like, hey, we're gonna try to make this happen. I don't have the whole answer right now, but I'm gonna search for it.
We're totally
gonna get it.
We're gonna figure it out.
Especially with a guest, I'm sure if you're at a nice hotel, right? They come in, you want to do your best to really make their experience so they come back, so they recommend it to their friends.
Sure.
That's an opportunity. That's a point of sale right there.
It totally is.
Right?
And it's also thinking outside the box too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. One of my favorite stories, as far as when it comes to just concierging is I had this couple come and they really wanted to go to the Magic Castle. And so for those that don't know the Magic Castle in LA, it is a members only magicians club, and the way that you get in is you have to know somebody, and then they extend an invite to you, and then you have dinner there, and then you can see all of these magic shows all night long, and it's actually really cool.
Yeah,
very, very cool. And but they also sell out because it's very limited. And so it was kind of last minute. This couple asked to get in, couldn't get them in, but I was like, how about this? How about we bring the Magic Castle to you? And they were like, wait, what?
Excuse me?
So next thing you know, I'm interviewing magicians, like finding out what their performance style is, like what we can expect in a 2-hour performance in room. I do a little write-up on all of them. I send it to them. They choose somebody.
Wow.
And next thing you know, like the magician's like, okay, well, I'm going to bring like a dove and a rabbit. I know you're like a pet-friendly hotel, but like, can I...
How friendly are you? Yeah.
I have to like ask the general manager. I'm like, hey, so I'm like kind of doing this. Like, can we let this dove and rabbit in the room? And he just looks at me like, yeah, you can definitely do that. I'm like, oh, it's not a dog. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's, in a way, yeah. Well, I don't know. Birds are...
no, yeah, right?
Yeah, I feel like they could be messier.
I mean, the dove, where is it hiding? In between its
true.
acts.
Hey, Dove, go off stage real quick.
Dove.
Wait in the wings.
Hey! I saw what you did there. So again, I kind of love that story because it is all about
that's
thinking outside the
amazing.
box. And that's what we do with improv.
I was wondering, like, if you were gonna like teach yourself magic right then and there, and be like, "Give me 2 hours, I'll be up there. Be ready for a show." And you're like, "Give me a top hat, cane, coat," and then you're like just practicing some card tricks in the back.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I'm sure some concierge somewhere has done that.
Oh man,
Can you imagine?
Okay, I
Choose
just
a
learned
card.
this.
Choose a card.
Sorry, I just learned how to shuffle. Yeah,
That would be so funny.
but that's amazing. I mean, you wrote like these dossiers to like take up to them and be like, "Who do you want? Here's a headshot and resume. Here you go."
Yeah. Oh, they got this guy. We
Yeah.
got this guy. This
Yeah.
one has a top hat. This one does whatever. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I imagine, like, as you spent time as a concierge, of course, like what you lacked in knowledge, like, changed over time because,
Yeah.
you're putting in the reps and you're like,
totally.
now I'm gaining the knowledge of the city. It's less, let me find that out. It's, I've done something similar before. And like,
let me tell you how
just
this is
with the
gonna.
experience.
Let me tell you how this is gonna work out.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to get the magician, the wand. Yeah. All that stuff.
I got Bob the magician right over here.
You
We're
got,
good.
you got him on retainer.
Totally.
He's just waiting for a gig. So at what point were you like, okay, I have this skill set, I have this background of acting, performing, these different, performance abilities. I'm a great concierge. I mean, I know you're an award-winning concierge.
I mean,
I
some people say that.
can't say the name of the award for the life of me. Anything French, I'm like, I'm out.
Le Clé d'Or.
That was my guess, but I didn't want
En français.
to say, no.
No, it's good. Yeah, perfect. That was a very good no. I could hear the N-O-N.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good
I
job.
didn't even know that's how it was spelled.
No, it is. Good job.
All right. Well, when was that moment? Because you've turned this into, I mean, it's a personal brand that you've created. It's say a business. I mean, like a social media following. But combining this, I mean, skill for, I think, on camera presence. Podcasts, interviews, like content that you're putting out. Like you've made this. It's a huge thing that you have going. I mean, your presence online, but just being able to share your expertise and the knowledge you've gained. To like everyone versus like I'm here in one hotel. Now you're accessible to anyone, which I think is really fantastic.
It's so cool. So the birth thing of Ask a Concierge. Well, I guess so. Right before that, as I was still working in these hotels, I was doing acting classes, which led to improv classes, and I was performing sketch for many years.
Right. Yeah. While being a concierge, you were doing this.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So like I would work Friday morning, for example, at the Peninsula in Beverly Hills, like super freaking fancy. Yeah. And then I would leave, have one of those 5-hour energies and be bouncing off the walls and like do 2 shows and then go back to work at 7 a.m. the next day.
Jeez.
So
long days, late nights.
Yeah, exactly. That's still how I live my life. So when people are like, "Are you tired?" I'm like, "No, I'm born this way."
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was very much it, and I think that was probably the time where it was like such a stark difference because I had to be so professional because I was really working in one of the best hotels in Los Angeles. Like it is very, very professional. Yeah. And then at night, I would be performing and doing crazy dance moves and like backflips. I don't know how to do a backflip. I'm too tall for that. But performing in a black box theater.
Yeah.
And
very different environment.
Very different environment. So fast forward, I'm like, I can't. I had to put myself in a different environment because I knew that if I stayed in that particular property, as wonderful as it was, I didn't want to bat my eyes and next thing you know, be there and 70 years old and this is where I've been my whole life.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but I knew that my path was different.
Wasn't for you.
Yeah, so I end up leaving without a job and I work at a restaurant. Then I end up at another hotel, which is a little bit more relaxed. This was the London West Hollywood. Look at me name dropping everybody. And because it was a 4-star hotel, so a little bit more relaxed than a 5-star hotel, they were just more welcoming and about me being a creative. And so shortly after I started there, I was taking a writing class. So I was going to do a web series called Two Blondes, One City. So never became anything, but
we'll look for it.
Don't look for it. It never became. No, I don't think we even filmed it.
There's a PDF out there.
That is true. Yeah. So I'm writing in this writing class. We're working on this the script for this web series, trying to make it funny. And the instructor's like, everybody should do a vlog, a video blog. Think about what you're an expert in, and do a video blog. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is a really annoying assignment. Yeah. I'm like, I like to eat healthy and work out. I'm like, I'm not that person. And then I was like, you know what? Look, it's just an assignment. Nobody's going to see this. Who cares? I'm just going to talk about the questions I answer on a regular basis.
Yeah.
What to eat, see, do in LA. I'll call it Ask a Concierge. Literally, just like made it up for the sake of an assignment.
Yeah.
Put together the first video, and I'm thinking like, oh my God, nobody's going to, like, only people coming to LA are going to be interested in this. How many people is that? When we know how big the tourism industry is.
What's here though?
What did I know? Yeah. And by the way, those videos still exist out there on YouTube, and you can see, like, I recorded it on my iPhone. It's horribly edited. I'm wearing a scarf. I look more like a flight attendant than anything. Like, I have horrible hair. It's bad. Bad news bears. But it's out there, and it's funny because I actually had an acting coach at one point tell me, he's like, you should take that down. And he's like, you should only have your best work up online. And I was like,
jeez. Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is like my arc. Like, I don't know. It's you can see when that was uploaded. Like, nobody's going to judge me by my 2012 content. Yeah. Like, unless it's offensive, then we don't want that out there. Yeah. But I mean, it's like,
it probably wasn't because you were like, you should eat here. Like,
it's not. No, it's like, these are the most romantic restaurants in LA. So yeah, and I quickly realized, wow, I actually might be onto something. And then really, that's when I started doubling down on like Twitter and then Instagram. And I always wanted to do a video aspect of it, even before they were doing reels, like way before any of this. Yeah. And I was like, but I want to keep the caliber high because again, I have a film and TV background. So I was doing this for quite some time, even before Instagram was even really video friendly. Yeah. And so that's kind of how it snowballed out of that. And don't get me, I mean, if I started that in 2012, I mean, we're now 2024, it's been 12 years. There have been so many incarnations of it. Or I should say, it's evolved so much. Yeah. And every time there's been a bit of a different evolution with it or it's expanded, it's when there's been a different challenge. So whether it's been committing to more video or, in the pandemic, how I started doing more TV. Yeah. Because I think the pandemic was a really crucial point. I've been doing a lot of the stereotypical, influencer content prior to that. Cool, great, obviously through the lens of a hospitality professional. But then the pandemic, nobody was traveling. Yeah. And then it was like, no, you couldn't. And so I'm like looking online and seeing the landscape and everybody's like, I can't wait to travel again. And I didn't know how long that was going to last, but I was like, well, this is going to get real old real quick. Yeah. And I don't want to contribute to that. And then there was a lot of fear mongering, all of that. So I was like, okay, well, how can I create travel content without traveling and be of support to the industry? And that's when I basically started doing these 2-minute recaps. next thing you know, I had a big hotel company, the Marriott, reach out to me. They're like, do you want to do TV segments? Like from home? And like, we'll pay you for it. And I'm like, wait, what? I get paid to do TV from my living room?
$125 for 10 weeks? Yeah. I'm in.
Well, I had negotiated a little bit of a higher rate.
That's good. Hopefully at least 130. Yeah.
Totally. You know, got to make sure I can eat my cookies.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. But, so it was, again, this cool moment that next thing you know, I started having a different side to what I was doing, that it wasn't necessarily just me traveling to destinations, but now I could be this voice, and whether it's this voice of wisdom or this voice of trust, which, by the way, is what a concierge is.
Yeah.
And so what a cool evolution that really still stayed true to my roots, but just it kind of evolved with as the brand grew, as I grew, as social media grew as well too. And it's been so many of these cool, I call them my Bob Ross moment, like these happy accidents.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but they are, you know, just kind of trusting my gut and just being like, let me just try this and see what happens. And next thing you know, it's like all these cool opportunities happen. And to this day, by the way, I actually had, without sounding weird, but I have an assistant, which is still new to me.
Yeah, like,
but I'm like, hey, like if I'm ever talking about how I'm just too tired to stay on top of it, please tell me, remind me the more content I create, the more opportunities come my way.
Yeah.
And that has always been the case. And I still, to this day, I firmly not only believe it, but it happens every single time. So for any fellow content creators out there, just keep doing it. Because you never know what's going to hit.
Yeah.
And it's also social media. Like it has a relatively short shelf life. On the plus side, it can go viral. On the downside, you just create a new piece of content tomorrow.
Yeah. It's,
you know,
in a way it's, well, not to draw the parallels, but it's kind of like improv in that
totally is.
It's a numbers game. It is both quality and quantity, but it's like, you got to have such a large quantity of the quality. Just put it out.
Well, you're getting real-time feedback too,
Yeah.
which is what we get when we're performing improv.
Yeah.
You know, and you're trusting your gut with it and trying to not censor yourself, so to speak, and just like let the creativity drive it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have to be mindful of like brand voice, what makes sense. Like, you know, if you want it to kind of stay within a certain lane, in essence, you're making a channel.
Yeah.
So it's like the travel channel should be travel content, not ghost shows.
Yeah.
Travel channel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Not a hub. Not a hub.
Way out of control. Discovery Channel too. And History Channel too, actually. Yeah. They all kind of lost their identity. Anyway.
Wait, a side note on that.
Yeah.
Or TV commentary. But that's what was always so I loved about social media is there is this element of improv. Like, let's try something new and see. And what's so cool is you get this real-time feedback. Yeah. So if you find people are really resonating with it and you enjoy doing it, do more of that content. Yeah. Worst comes to worst, they don't like it. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Do
Pivot. Yeah.
Pivot tomorrow. Do something else. So I don't know. That's what's always so fun to me about that creating that content. And I always saw it also especially as an actor. So, you know, I'm sure you've got, you know, actors that tune into this is like, what a great way to like basically put your body of work out there.
Yeah.
You know? And so I was working with an acting coach at the time and he'd give me scenes, I'd go rehearse them and then come in. And then I finally turned around and was like, can I not do these scenes that nobody's going to ever see? They're on tape at your house.
Yeah. And that's it.
Like, and that's it. Or if somebody sees it, it's just you in front of a random green screen. Like, nobody's going to do anything with this.
Yeah.
I was like, can I maybe work on my scripts? And like, can I work on my scripts with you so that when I go film, like I've had a little bit of rehearsal with my stuff.
Yeah.
Again, when I was a little
polished, it's
a little bit more scripted at the time because, you know, when it's still kind of new. Now I'm just like, what do you want me to say? Okay, we got it.
All right, got it.
You got
Record.
it. 20 seconds? Okay, cool. We can do it.
Yeah.
But again, you know, people see it now and they're like, how do you know how to do this in like 30 seconds? I'm like, my internal time clock.
Yeah, you've put the reps in.
Yeah. Exactly. So, it's been a journey.
It's been a
Mike,
journey.
I feel like I'm zigzagging in this journey, just like telling you all of this.
Yeah. And I mean, crazy to think about. I mean, like you said, kind of the parallels of it is like improv. And now you've done it so much, like this muscle of like creating this content for this brand that you've established.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I can do that. Right. And I mean, I'm going to keep going back to improv, of course, but like,
of course,
it's the same idea with improv. You know, it's like, it's a muscle. Everything's a muscle, right?
Totally.
You work it. Improv, you got to do scenes and scenes and scenes.
Totally.
You got to keep practicing and getting up. And if it sucks, we'll get up and do it again. Hopefully it goes better. Maybe it won't. It might suck again. Get up and do it again. And it's like, I'm sure same thing. You look back at your early content from 12 years ago and you compare it to something you made now.
Totally.
You could be like, oh, I didn't do this in that one. I didn't do this.
Or
like,
I can tell like I'm a little bit tense or not as relaxed, or it sounds maybe not as conversational. I mean, of course, we're going to critique our own work.
Of course, yeah. Especially the first iteration.
And
they're going to be brutal.
How many iterations have there been since then?
Yeah, probably thousands, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
But also, and I love sharing all of this because it also brings me back to, I mean, what I started, studying here 10 months ago. And that was actually one of the things that was important to me as I was kind of reflecting, and I'm like, wow, the last time I took any sort of improv class, I was just focusing on acting,
right?
And
very
I hadn't
place.
A very different place. I didn't build this brand, and I'm like, how will it influence and positively influence where I am now? I do TV segments. I host a couple of podcasts. I'm constantly doing stuff on, social media. I'm filming travel videos. There's an element of improv to everything that I'm doing, but how much better can I get if I just do this on the side as well?
Yeah.
And so that's why it's been so great, because it's like, oh, wow, I was able to use my improv to build my career. And then it's like, oh, wow, now I have this whole career and brand and everything. And I'm like, well, how can I just like
polish?
Yeah. And you can always, like any art form, you can always polish. So I always credit my mom, who is, she's an artist and a painter. And I would go to art classes with her all the time as a kid. And it was at a very young age, I could see these are professional artists, literally painters, draw, whatever. Yeah. But they would take their time to go in the studio and just draw, paint, work on their form, which is exactly what we do in improv or any acting class. So any sort of creative thing that you do. I mean, dancers, they go to rehearsal. How
what? You're saying they practice?
What?
No.
Musicians. They
Sarah,
go to rehearsal.
No, you're lying.
But it's interesting because too often I do feel like sometimes, whether they're actors or different performers, they get to a certain point, they're like, I'm already working and I'm professional now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm there.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah. We could always be growing. So I love that I've been able to kind of find a home here. And this is my my little it's like my little safe space. Like I can come and do whatever. Like nobody's recording it. It's not going to show up anywhere. You could. There's no sense of, there's no failing in improv. You just fall forward. Right?
Wow. That's I'm going to get that tattooed on my forehead, Sarah. There's no failing in improv. You just fall forward.
Yeah, right?
That way everyone I meet can read it.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's
you can use that line.
It's really that good. It's really that good.
Stop.
Because you're so right. And I think seeing like how you see it, of like so much of your career and what you do right now is like, you're getting on camera, you're in front of a microphone, do this. And it's like, there's probably a lot of pressure that comes with that. And of course you can handle it because you've been doing it, but like just to come here, you get up, you don't have to be a concierge. You can be literally whatever you are in that scene.
Yeah.
So outside of being a concierge.
Yeah.
And, just for a couple hours come in and be like, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun. And speaking of, that was the thing that was interesting, is that I had been, quote unquote, concierge Sarah for so long. There was an element of this formality and this professionalism, which was good at the beginning as I was growing the brand, because it definitely tied into that. But, for those that know me, they're like, you're just so much looser than that.
Yeah.
And so to lean into improv, to just kind of help loosen things up and be just a little bit more relaxed. I can still be professional, certainly know how to do that, but just whether it's being more conversational or more relaxed as we think we are, we can always be more relaxed.
Absolutely.
Namaste.
Yeah. Namaste. Yeah. That makes me think back to when you mentioned earlier, talking about kind of that first time you posted a video of you dancing.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's an example of that, right? Because before you were like, very kind of like clean, like I'm a concierge. This is the information you need to know. Cut. All right. Good. We got the script in.
Yeah.
All done. But then, open up a little bit, show a little personality. And I think
personality is key. Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
And
it sets you apart.
It totally does. I'll never forget. And he's actually one of my good friends to this day. For any travel people, if you've ever seen the show Hotel Impossible, the host is former hotel general manager Anthony Melchiori, and we've become we're literally like besties to this day. I can say that, Anthony, if you see this. Yeah, we're besties.
Shout out, Anthony.
Shout out. But I'll never forget, he reached out to me, and certainly this was somebody I respected because he's got a travel show on the Travel Channel, and he's a hotel background. So there's similarities, even though we're completely different personalities.
Right.
And he reached out to me on social media, and he was like, he's like, you're really interesting. He's like, you're polished, you're professional, you are articulate, you're so presentable. And then I watch your stories. He's like, you're freaking weird. And I love it. And I was like, okay. But it goes to show you that people want to see personality. They want to see dimension and depth and, within reason, but, so whenever you get to show a little bit more of your personality, and I think that's actually why I think I love the idea of dance. Yeah. And even when I do comedy or do improv, I do lean a lot into the physicality. Yeah. Because what does it do? It gets you out of your head.
Yeah, you stop thinking.
Mm-hmm. You're in your body. So that was what's so fun about the dancing. I'm not in my head. And then people respond to it because you're just you.
You're just you. And I think, I would imagine, at least in my mind, that's, I think, part of probably your growth over the years as a brand, as a channel, right? Because it's like people started seeing, they're like, well, she's giving this great stuff, but we see a little personality. We love the personality. We love the advice. And it's the combination, those two things meeting. It's like, that's what people want to see.
Totally.
That's what keeps them interested.
Yeah. And it's, even to this day, like I'll play around with doing different content. Like, I obviously travel's my area of expertise. And then I chimed in on a story today talking about country music, which is very random.
Beyonce's new song.
Yeah. Exactly.
This ain't Texas.
Oh my God, I know. Oh my gosh. But it again, it's constantly playing with it, and I find that people actually respond to that. Yeah. And even if sometimes I'm like, does this make sense? It's like, just be authentically you. I always say, lead with positivity. Like, add something positive to the conversation. The conversation is in the content conversation. But then if you have fun with it and if you're passionate about it, people get on board.
Yeah. They'll see that and be like, oh, I like that, and respond.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay. Wow, man, that's some good stuff.
Hopefully.
It is. So thinking about your time here at IFTP. So I know you mentioned in the past you did, some sketch and improv. Mm-hmm. You found your way back to improv. And like you said, you kind of reflected about like, wow, where I'm at now versus where I was in those early days trying to build all of this. What kind of growth do you think you've seen in yourself since you started here at IFTP 10 months ago?
I'm more relaxed for sure. I'm also more playful with my brand, and I lean into showing more of my personality. And, I also find myself doing different things like playing with pace in how I'm delivering content, or just being a little bit more playful in talking about travel, which is, at times, you can have fun with it a little bit. So, or, throwing in little quips, like if I'm, might add a little button or whatever it is. So it just has a little bit more of my personality infused in it. And I also find as well too, because I do, a lot of TV segments talking about whatever's happening in the world of travel, that sometimes like I'm just not as scripted with it. Yeah. Like I have my talking points, I literally outline it so I know what I'm going to be touching on, and then I just go with it.
Take it from there.
Yeah. And people love that. Every time I'm just more relaxed and just kind of am very present, especially with the anchor or whoever I'm talking to, it does, we have such a great time.
Oh yeah.
And you're creating like little moments.
Yeah, it's a little relationship right then and there. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, and I'm sure it's also it impacted me in so many other ways. But well, you know what? We'll go here. I'm actually
Let's
gonna
go. Let's go here.
So a little bit more personal, but like I think that some people will probably resonate with this. I also happened to have I was going through a bad breakup last year. And so this happens.
It's part of life.
This is part of life. Yeah. And so in part of me going through that, like I was sad. I was like really in a funk. And my joy and spark that like I normally brought to things, I just didn't have. And so coming into doing improv was like, okay, I'm doing this for myself because like this is me kind of going back to my roots. Yeah. This is my commitment to myself. Like, okay, yeah, I work out, but like, me going to Pilates is a very different commitment to myself than this. And so it became this cool thing that I was like scheduling play into my schedule because I was working so much. And even though I'm a creative and I'm constantly creating, like, you can only churn out so much content
before you get burnt out.
Yeah, totally. And so I'm, coming to improv was very much like, sounds cheesy, but was like part of my little like healing journey. And I was able to kind of find my funny, find myself, the core of who I was again. And I think that's what's been so great. So that's also how it's influenced things. It's like, oh wow, like I'm me again. And so, a mix of things, but definitely coming here has been really, monumental along that journey. So sorry to get super serious on you, but we're bringing it all to the table. Exactly. Renaissance Festival to breakups. You got it.
That's life. That's life right there. Sometimes you're the periwinkle fairy. Yeah. Other times, you're really going through it.
Exactly.
That's
Tears
life.
of a clown.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. The drama masks.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Very much so.
Comedy and tragedy.
Yeah.
Think about what you said too, that ability to play. I mean, like you said, with content and that being such a big part of your life and churning, putting out all this stuff. This is the one place you can come and like perform without a record button going on too.
Totally. Yeah. And without sounding like, like a lot of people in class, like they don't know necessarily they just know me as Sarah in class. Yeah. So there's no,
hey Sarah.
Yeah. There's no expectation of like, oh, you're not talking about travel today. And
they're like, shouldn't this scene, you should be a concierge in this scene, right?
It was funny because there was sometimes they're like, oh, we'll give you a place, hotel. And I'm like,
you're like, no, please.
I got this one. I got this on lock. They were like, you were really good. I'm like, thanks.
You don't even know.
You don't even know what you just gave me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that it is, and I do this, coming back to this notion of play is just as an adult. I think what I love so much, by the way, about the classes here is you've got a wide range of individuals.
Yes.
Different ages, different professions. I mean, I'm sitting in class, I'm like, oh my God, what do you do? Like, what's your day job? I love to find out what people do.
The spread here, insane.
Yeah. It's so cool because I'm like, what's your day job? How'd you find it? And I actually think I like that more than maybe some of the other improv studios in town, where it's a different vibe. And because everybody's here for different reasons, but they're working professionals in various ways, whether they are performers or whether they're working, as a concierge. No plug there.
Yeah.
I don't. It's cool, but this notion of the scheduling play, like as adults, we don't do that enough.
Not at all.
And I think that's what I love about meeting the other people that are here. It's like whatever their journey has led them to come here.
Like, why are you here? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And it's cool, but it's fun to just go outside your comfort zone, and everybody's coming at it with different backgrounds. So it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I agree. That's one of the parts. I mean, I've met just through this podcast, like the range of professions is like doctors. That's all. Doctors, architects, like other medical professionals, like lawyers, like all this crazy stuff. A court
Accountants?
stenographer, like
What?
Yeah, which I had so many questions.
Oh
for her.
my,
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you type with this thing and then what? Yeah,
That's wild.
insane. And then they did court on Zoom, and she still had to like type during all that. Crazy.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just imagining all the errors I would have.
Oh yeah, it'd be like, oh, sorry, you're muted. Like,
yeah. Right.
I don't even know. That sounds like a nightmare.
Totally.
Like, wait, am I guilty or not?
I know.
I don't know. Crazy. But yeah, I agree. Just having also been to some other studios, you know,
Yeah.
in my personal experience, you
Yeah.
know, it's like the crowd here, like you said, so many different backgrounds, and not with all the same pursuit of like, I'm gonna be on SNL, or like, you know, that kind of mindset, which I love, and there's a place for.
I'm familiar with it.
But
Totally familiar with
not
it.
every, you know, that's not all that improv has to be about.
No, not at all. Because there's so much growth out of it. Like every single person on this planet can take something away from an improv class. Every single person. Funny, actually, just before coming here, I happened to be talking with an old colleague of mine, and I forgot that she was like, "Oh my gosh." Because I posted about taking class last night on my Instagram stories, like a little name drop right there, tag. Like anyway, but I was talking with her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're taking classes there." She's like, "Do you remember when you recommended me to take classes here?"
Wow.
And I forgot because I knew Matt for forever, but
Yeah.
I wasn't in that part of my journey again of like going back into classes. And she was a front office manager, and the general manager was like, "You should take improv classes." And she was like, "Sarah, what do I do?" And I was like, "Well, you could go to, you know," I was trying to help her choose the right studio. And I was like, "I actually think that this might be the right studio for you," which I recommended without even taking a
Yeah, it
class
was
here
before
yet.
your time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, but how cool. And so we were just having this moment talking about it that, again, she's not a performer per se, but she's like, it helped me so much. It built her confidence. And I could also see her loosen up a bit as well,
Yeah.
and open up the
That's
side
amazing.
of creativity in her as well.
Also good that like it was a good studio too. Like,
yeah.
Imagine you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, she's like, I went to this place. It was awful.
He was like, "Oh my gosh, Lorne Michaels was there." I'm kidding.
And he booed me.
You're not going to be on SNL. I wasn't trying to be.
What? Oh man.
That's crazy.
But-
much love.
You're a pro at recommendations, so that wasn't gonna happen anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I always like to say that when you're good at recommending things, you're kind of good at sussing out what a good recommendation is, even if you haven't had a firsthand experience.
Yeah. Because there's no way. I mean, in
Yeah.
that line of work, there's no way you could have had tried all the things first yourself.
I'm vegetarian. I don't eat steak, but I recommend a great steak restaurant.
Yeah, that might make it tough.
They got really good broccoli over here.
You know, hey, that's important. The sides at a steak restaurant,
Yeah.
that can make or break the meal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And broccoli, fantastic
I
side.
mean,
Some
if-
grilled broccolini or something. Oh,
Right?
man.
Brussels sprouts?
Oh,
You see?
Ah.
I know. Mac and cheese?
I'm there.
I'm vegetarian, not vegan. I got to do my cheese.
Good.
You're like, glad we cleared that up.
Thank God. Don't get me started. No.
Whoa.
Yeah. I couldn't sit here with a non-cheese eater. No. That's not true.
That's not true. We love vegan.
Yeah. Well, no.
No, we do.
I think it's a tough decision, and I respect folks who make that
Yeah.
choice.
No, it's great. Hey, to each his own. Everybody's got their own
Yeah.
path with that.
Yeah. Plus more cheese for me.
Sames.
Yeah.
Sames,
it really
bro.
works out. It works out. All right, Sarah, I got a couple more questions for you.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do some improv.
Oh, I mean,
to
have we
close us
not
out.
been improving this whole time?
That's true. Good point.
Volley.
So I think, well, you kind of already answered this, but we'll ask it again just to see if there's any,
Other nuggets.
other nuggets. Whoa, I was thinking the word nuggets. That's crazy.
Chicken nuggets.
Exactly. You know,
Golden nuggets.
dino nuggets.
We'll stop.
Denver nuggets. There you go. That's a different
Oh, that's a good one.
thing. Yeah.
I'm not a sports person, but I got that
But
reference.
nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Where's it going with that? Oh yeah. So thinking about like maybe the arc going back
Sure.
to, you know, the Ren Fair days to now, like what do you think has been the impact of improv on your career, on your life? Jeez, it's a big ask, but like,
I love this question.
yeah, it's
My life would not be, I would not be where I am today if I did not so many opportunities in my life. I mean, like my life today is a product of improv, of yes anding, literally. And when we're talking about yes anding, it's saying yes to opportunities. It's saying yes to the hard work that other people are going to say no to.
Yeah.
And it's just saying yes with no expectations and watching where it'll lead. It's saying yes to creating content where you're like, oh, I don't know if anybody's going to watch this. Thank goodness I did that.
Yeah.
Like, what would I be doing now? So, and I think all of us, by the way, can do that. If we really are honest with ourselves and we can sit and look back on our lives, the moments where we maybe took like a big leap or took a chance or our career did a complete like left-hand turn out of nowhere were generally from us yes-anding, and I think that's kind of like the beauty of it. I mean, it's good to maybe have a 10-year plan if you want. Some people do, some people don't.
Bit.
It's nice to have some direction.
Yeah.
But I was talking with this older gentleman just the other day. I love talking, by the way, to older people. I mean that in a nice way.
Yeah, because
but
you can learn a lot.
100%. My grandmother always had me work at old folks' homes when I was a kid, and I hated it. I was like, oh, they're all old and they're depressing. And then I would joke around that it would become the Sarah Dandashy social hour when I was working at hotels because, no joke, it was literally like the Sarah Dandashy 60 plus club. They would get, not by the way, 60 not, well, I'm not trying to hate or not trying to, put that out there. Yeah. But people would come and they would share their stories, and there's so much you can learn from people. So I was talking to this older gentleman the other day, and he was like, where do you see things going? Or he's like, or are you just saying yes and just rolling with it? And I'm like, well, there's sort of a roadmap, but there's a lot of yes and rolling with it, because it's saying yes to the things that lead to opportunities or situations that you could have never even imagined that appear just because you said yes. So life is just one big, long improv, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It's like all the things you could have or should have said yes to.
Yeah.
And you can look back later and be like, oh, man.
Yeah.
What if? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Don't what if. Yes.
Yeah. Don't give yourself that chance to what if. Say yes. Yeah. That's a really good point. I mean, it started with you auditioning and saying yes to the Ren Fair, and then look where you are now.
Right?
Yeah.
So weird. Yeah. And also knowing that and by the way, just even kind of like the other side of that is because I know a lot of people, they're afraid of rejection. And my favorite quote, I am not responsible for this quote, but it also ties into improv. It's not rejection, it's redirection. And so if you don't let it like hit you like, oh God, oh, I suck. It's like, oh, well, I'm just not meant for that. And then you focus your energy elsewhere. And then next thing you know, you look back and you're like, oh, I didn't get a job at a certain hotel. And then I ended up at the hotel I ended up at. And I remember at the time being like, well, ew, why wouldn't they want to hire me? Like, I'm a shoo-in. They should have hired me. They literally should have. But that was sort of the universe being like, no, that's not where you're meant to be. Because if I would have gone that way, I would not be where I am today. So again, it's this notion of wherever you were kind of told no is just a different way of redirecting you to where you're supposed to be. Sorry, now we're turning into my TED Talk.
Thank you for coming to TEDx. No.
You're welcome.
No, but I think you're right. That not rejection, but redirection. I thought of pinball for some reason because the ball's just pew, 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 pew,
love
pew,
that.
Pew. And it just keeps going. It bounces off one thing and goes to the next.
Totally.
And keeps moving forward.
And that's why I said also fall forward. Because it's
failure,
like you're totally. And it's funny because I do have a lot of people that ask me, they're like, "Oh, are you scared of failure? Are you scared of rejection?" I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
why?
Because there is no failure, so to speak. Like, it's not like I always joke around that I got to really cut my teeth on rejection when I was a concierge, because think about how many restaurant reservations I tried to make, and they would be like, yeah, nope, we're full.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a restaurant recommendation.
Yeah.
And then you have to think of something creative.
Yeah.
And I'm basically trying things on behalf of other people. So, again, there's no, it's not rejection, it's redirection, and it's not failure, it's falling forward.
Yeah. This didn't work. Where else can I go?
Yeah, which is another version of yes-anding.
Yeah. Because you open yourself up to opportunities and possibilities.
Totally. Everything leads back to improv.
Everything leads back to
All roads lead back to improv.
Improv lessons are life lessons.
Woo! They are.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. That's like, I always try and sneak that in every episode. In some way, we get to that at some point.
Yeah.
Because it just, no matter who's on here,
Is that on a t-shirt yet?
It's not.
We need to make that happen.
I know. We gotta get shirts, hats, water bottles, bandanas.
Yeah. I'll take a bandana.
A bandana. Improv. I don't know.
This ain't Texas.
Oh. Same Texas. Oh no. Yeah. All right. I've heard that song quite a bit.
You and everybody else on the planet.
Yeah.
Thanks to TikTok and Instagram.
It's been blowing up. It's been blowing up.
Crazy.
All right, Sarah, one more question for you.
Sure.
So it's early in the year, 2024. Looking ahead, I just want you to think about, you're like, man, what are some things that I'm hoping to do or try in this next year? It could be an improv, it could be performing, it could be with your Ask a Concierge work. It's just like, I'm trying to post more reels or trying to do some more long form content. Maybe it's like, I want to do an improv show.
Yeah, I mean, goodness, I have a couple things. I definitely am looking to kind of create different type of content. So for me, in like full transparency, as somebody that creates content all the time, I feel very confident with everything that I do, like on Instagram, and I'm trying to find my voice that will really resonate on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be playing around with that.
Different game.
A totally different game. And I'm cool with that. And I'm cool with, again, we're not failing. We're just trying and seeing what works. I have another book I want to write.
Second book.
A second book. Yeah. And I'm still kind of honing in what that is. And by the way, just a nod to this, when I wrote my first book, as somebody that creates a lot of content, you're like, oh, it's a book. Like, it's just like a long blog post. Nope. No, it is not.
A lot more to it than that.
And fascinating is how it evolved. I had an idea of what it was going to be, and then came up with different, and it evolved and morphed into what it ended up being, which again is being, that is a form of improv, So yeah.
Open to the changes. Yeah.
Totally. So definitely want to work on a second book. Trying to do an interesting travel series. So it's still in the works, but it's looking highly positive. So we're just, we're waiting for that to come together. But I think that'll be just really exciting and doing content in a very different way in the sort of travel space. Also speaking engagements. I've been doing a lot more of those.
That's exciting.
It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. And so I mean, that's kind of all career wise. And I think I need to figure out a time when I'm going to be in town more, and then plan to do a show. Because it's been a while. I used to do shows, improv shows.
Sketch, you mentioned even stand-up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which we'll find the footage, don't worry.
We will. Yeah, we will. I mean, it wasn't my vehicle at that time. But by the way, so glad I did it, because there were definitely been different times where I've been, like, I remember some of the first speaking events that I did. I'd be standing there talking about hospitality to a room full of doctors. And I'm standing there and then having a moment and saying a joke, not intentionally saying a joke, but it just happened to be funny. And then letting the silence be there. And then the laugh would come. Yeah. So it's been so cool that
crowd work.
Yeah, totally. So, going back, hold me to this, by the way.
Okay.
I want you to hold me accountable. Be like, Sarah, where's your show at?
Where's your show? I'm looking for it.
Where's your show? Come on, you said you were going to do a show.
I was listening to 99.5 and I didn't find it.
Yeah, not that show.
Oh, okay.
Make sure that I do an improv show this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll keep an eye out.
No, I'm serious. You're my accountability partner.
Okay, you got it.
And everybody else that's tuning in.
All right. Both of them.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Good to see you. There you go. All right. So all three of us hold you accountable.
The deal.
Deal. All right.
The pressure's on.
Yeah. I like that you have both like aspirations, both professionally and personally in that too.
Oh, sure.
That's important.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was my big discovery this past year is that there was always so much of focus on professional, which obviously there has to be. I mean, that pays the bills, and that's, there's also a passion to it,
You enjoy it.
Totally. But creating that time for play, I was like, oh, wow, like you're really carving out, personal time. And so figure out what that is for you. And for me, it's improv. So, yeah.
There it is.
I know.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Yep. Well, thank you.
Are you up? You ready to do some improv?
Sure. I think I'm warmed up now.
Okay. So that was the warm up.
Oh, perfect.
Now we're going to start recording. No.
Great. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hit the button. No.
Stop.
Can you imagine? Oh, I'd be so embarrassed if that were the case.
You should not be embarrassed, but that would be actually really funny.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be like, well, let's do it again.
I'd be like, can I take an intermission?
Yeah. And then you just leave. Yeah.
Deuces.
Be like, intermission at home.
Yeah,
Bye.
right.
All right. So we've got 3 games we're going to be playing tonight, Sarah. This first game is a simple one, but it's fun to try. This game is called Mind Meld. You might have played it before in a larger group, but essentially how it's going to work, we're just going to count down from 3. We're going to try and get our minds to meld. We're going to count down from 3. We're going to both say a word, whatever that word is.
Perfect.
We'll hear the word and be like, okay. And we're going to try and say the same word at the same time.
Cool.
So we'll just keep going, hopefully until we get it, and I'll black us out when we get there.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bananas.
Tropical. 3, 2, 1. Pineapple.
Island. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Vacation.
Coconut. Oh. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Beach.
Sand.
Oh.
So close.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Waves.
Towel.
Oh my gosh.
God.
3, 2, 1. Sunscreen.
We're snorkel.
Oh, snorkel.
Snorkel.
I said sunscreen.
You know what we're You notice what we're doing?
Yeah, we're switching
Yeah,
places.
we're flip-flopping.
Snorkel, sunscreen. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bathing
Flip-flop.
suit. Oh no. Aspects of the same outfit.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Goggles.
Sunglasses. Oh my God.
Oh no. We're so close.
Oh my God. We are so
I think
close.
we got it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hat.
Sun hat. It was what I was trying to say. I was
okay,
hat.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that was it. That would no. It was definitely meaning sun hat.
Okay,
It was
sun
like,
hat. Hat. I'll take it. That's a mind meld.
That was definitely
Blackout. All right.
Hey!
That went. I usually stink at those. And, I
you
mean,
do?
we were like orbiting each other for like 3 rounds
for a hot minute.
It was like, I see you. You're in the water. I'm on the land, and then we swapped
Flip-flop.
places.
I know, right?
Swap places. All
I
right,
know.
that was good. Well, thank you for
I
mind
know.
melding.
Thank you as well.
I mean, we started banana and tropical, which is a great place to start.
I mean, not too bad.
Already.
It sounds like a nice smoothie.
Yeah, I'm there. I was thinking about the Laffy Taffy. I just came back because I thought I wish I had some banana Laffy Taffy.
Oh my God. I do too.
I don't.
I know where I'm stopping on the way home.
Yeah, I gotta see. There's plenty of gas stations. Or an airport.
Or an airport.
Or an airport. LAX, we're not that far.
Yeah, by the way, they
Just swing
actually
by.
have Laffy Taffy at the Delta Sky Club for those fancy travelers. Yeah, I discovered it. It's in like the back corner, like you go past the taco station. Like, yeah, there you go, just in case.
Yeah. Wait, are you a part of the 10 million miles club? No.
No.
That's probably good.
No, yeah.
Because that's like, there's probably a point where it's like a little too much.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can only, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I think I'm only at 400,000 miles.
Okay.
Specifically on Delta. So I'm sure there's obviously more if I
if
was
you
like,
mix in,
yeah, but who's doing that?
And too much work.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Make a spreadsheet and then just like,
No.
no. Never mind.
You're like, wow, that the first time Sarah has ever said no in her life.
You said a yes and
I know.
that's an opportunity. No, spreadsheets.
We good. That's
actually
what
like
Fiverr's for.
I like spreadsheets actually, but that's it.
You would.
But it's a part of work, so
Mr. IT.
yeah, that's the other side of me.
Yeah.
All right. So our next game, I had to do this. So sorry. This game is called Disaster Vacation.
Okay.
So what this is going to do, you and I, we're going to be on vacation. I'll give us a location shortly, but essentially on this vacation, everything that could go wrong will go wrong. And I'm going to have a lot to complain about, and you got to justify it. You got to spin zone it. You got to make it better.
Okay.
It's up to you. So you're going to have a lot of work.
Okay. So I have to make it better.
Yeah, whatever disaster comes
Sounds like
our
I'm
way.
concierging this.
Maybe so.
Typecasting.
Maybe so. Well, you know, if the shoe fits.
If it does.
Yeah.
As a size 10, everybody, I'm tall.
I realize these location suggestions. It says like disco. That's not a vacation.
Is it not? Studio 54, if we're going back in time. I'm kidding.
There you go. Oh, yeah, right. Some legendary parties.
Time travel.
Okay. I got it. We're going to
Poughkeepsie, New York.
we'll go to Poughkeepsie, New York.
You're welcome for that idea.
Thank you for that suggestion. Yeah, my app let me down. I have like a random suggestions app, and
What are you? Hello,
wasn't there tonight.
You literally
right. You're right here.
Like
you're right here.
Ask Siri. Ask a concierge.
That's true.
Ask a Sarah.
Well, we're going to Poughkeepsie, New York.
We are.
So you and me, we're going on vacation on Poughkeepsie, New York, and it's called Disaster Vacation. I'll black us out when we're done.
All right.
You didn't tell me where we were going. You know, you wanted to surprise me, and I didn't pack my swimsuit.
Well, I mean,
pack it.
We can always figure out where there's a nearby place so you can buy a swimsuit.
But I like my swimsuit. It's got rubber duckies on it.
Well, that is cute.
It's so cute.
But maybe you'll find one that has flamingos on it. And by the way, once you buy it, I mean, it is yours.
You're right. And, you know, rubber ducks, flamingos, they're both cute.
They are.
I think that'll be great. You know, pull up in my trunks with the flamingos.
It's festive.
Yeah, it's festive.
It is festive.
Thanks. I was just so nervous. You know, I like to make a good impression when I go to the beach.
Making an impression on
the people of Poughkeepsie.
They have high standards.
Yeah, the people of Poughkeepsie. You know, we're taking this friendcation, and you know, we're both, you know, single. You know, there's potential. Like we could wing each other. You know,
we could, yeah.
And a nice swimsuit with rubber duckies could go a long way. But flamingos.
We can do flamingos. I mean, there might be a new line at Target. I mean, maybe there might be something with alligators on it, or other animals, dolphins.
Okay.
I know how much you love dolphins.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about our prospects now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I need to make a statement when I pull up to the beach.
Of course.
People need to see me and go, "That's a fun guy."
In Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, in Poughkeepsie. You know, this is. I've heard there's a lot of eligible singles in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Which is at least one good thing about coming here.
I mean, there's a lot of good things about coming here.
And
you get to spend time together.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
You get to go to a different destination. Just go outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, I was looking on Yelp, you know, and you know, for food options, I didn't see a single corn dog restaurant around.
Oh.
I'm like, you know, corn dogs are my favorite food, right?
I do.
Like hot dog on a stick is literally my favorite restaurant, and there's not one within 50 miles.
All right, I have an idea. You ready?
Okay, it's because my vacation, it's hanging on a thread here.
I know. So what we can do.
Hanging on a thread here, Beverly.
We're going to go to Target. Really, Target has all the answers.
That's not a restaurant.
No. Listen, we're going to be, look, Target is a one-stop shop. We can get you your swim trunks.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Focus on the swim trunks.
That's then we can go to the frozen food section, and they have corn dogs there. I know. They have them at every Target.
Wait, they have them?
They do.
Beverly.
They do.
And we can make them.
And we can make them, you know, at our little Airbnb. We can have like a little picnic. I mean, when we're going to be in Poughkeepsie, we might as well enjoy being outside and in the elements. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Again, like, you don't have to go to the restaurant. We can be the restaurant.
Oh, we can be the restaurant. Oh my gosh, Beverly, thank you so much. I was just worried about the food because I'm pretty picky. So it's like if I can't get my corn dogs, I'm gonna throw a fit.
But you know what? They've got that really nice ketchup that you like.
Oh, Hunt's tomato ketchup.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better.
You should feel really good about this. This is going to be like the trip of your life.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying. I got to tell you something. I got to confess something.
Okay.
I'm a little embarrassed to post any photos, not of us, but just of like around here.
Oh.
Because I texted a friend, and just said, oh my gosh, my friend Beverly surprised me with a surprise vacation, and I told my friend where we're going, and they call it Poughkeepsie.
Oh.
And like, I don't want to post this, on Instagram. I've got like 200 followers. I don't want them to see this.
So what, you don't want to see that you said the name?
That I'm in Poughkeepsie. Like they might judge me. They're like, oh, you're in Poughkeepsie?
Wow.
Like it's a flyover town.
I mean,
it's a drive-by town.
You don't have to worry about what people are thinking.
Right. And we're making it work. You found me some nice swim trucks. I'm going to get those corn dogs with the Hunt's tomato ketchup.
You know what you're going to do?
I'm feeling corny.
We are going to take the coolest photos. You're going to have the flyest swim trunks. We're going to get a corn dog and we are going to take some awesome photos and you're going to post those. And everybody's going to be like, Poughkeepsie. I never knew.
You never knew. Right?
Yeah.
They're going to discover.
You are going to be like the face of Poughkeepsie. Okay. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is turning into a vacation to remember.
It is.
It's turning into a vacation to remember. Not Poughkeepsie, but Poughkeepsie, New York.
Yes.
We're dogging it up. Okay, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I've made so much of this about me. Is there anything you want to do while we're here?
Well, would love to go whitewater rafting.
Oh no, that's scary.
Well, you get to wear like a.
Oh, that sounds scary.
Scary.
Yeah, I don't want to get wet.
All right. Well,
like at the beach, I just go. I don't go in the water. I stay away. You
stay in the sand.
It's just like vibes. Yeah.
Just vibes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well,
Vibes.
Vibes away.
Beverly, I'm a vibes guy.
Okay.
And I don't want to get wet.
Fine. Okay. No water park then.
Ooh, scary. Helmet.
No canoeing.
Ooh, scary boats.
No.
They could flip. You could die.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. That's all right.
Yeah.
What if we make s'mores?
Oh yeah, s'mores are good.
Yeah, s'mores are great. They're tasty. Yeah. Everybody loves s'mores.
Yeah, that could be fun. It's just okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make s'mores at the beach.
Yes,
at the beach.
How perfect is this?
That's
this
pretty
is
cool.
Going to be.
We can post this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can post that. Like, take a photo of like maybe I got a little marshmallow on my lip.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the look you're going for.
Yeah, because it's like I enjoy a nice sweet treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, you've got the corn dog in one hand and then that. There you go. That's a total image that you're putting out there.
Yeah, just dog in one hand, s'more in the other.
Mm-hmm. I think that might be a new Tinder profile.
Blackout! So how'd it feel to be at work?
Yeah, right? Felt great.
Yeah, you were like, oh boy, here we go.
I was like, this guy.
Yeah.
Why is he even leaving his house?
Wait,
was I saying it wrong? Is it Poughkeepsie?
I don't know.
Oh, it is.
I've like heard of that, but I'm not.
It's Poughkeepsie. Okay, but when you said it like that, I was like, wait, have I been saying it
Oh
wrong?
no, I just thought that would be fun to say Poughkeepsie.
It was funny.
Because it's a place to skip.
It's a random. It's I don't know if I've ever even been there. Maybe I've driven through.
Me neither. Well, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to say.
It's okay. We're not missing much.
What?
So
but the beach. I don't even know if it's a coastal.
It's not.
Oh no.
Which is why I was smiling at
rivers,
one point.
yeah.
I was smiling. I was like, dude, that's like upstate New York.
Oh man, no. Yeah. Yeah, not a beach.
No.
This isn't Montauk, all right? Oh, but that's New Jersey. Never mind.
No.
Wait, is that New York?
Montauk. Funny. Okay. I was just looking up Montauk last night.
Wow.
Because I was trying to maybe go to a Beach Boys concert, which is actually not in Montauk, but it's in Montauk. It's something different.
It's too similar.
Yeah, way too similar.
Those two towns, they got to talk.
Yeah. But Montauk is at the end of Long Island.
Got it.
And for a frame of reference, in case anybody's wanting to know, if you were driving from Times Square to to Montauk, the end of Long Island. You have to go past the Hamptons. It's going to be about 4.5 hours. It's 119 miles to be exact.
Which you'd feel like I could drive faster than that, but
Yeah,
it's
but no.
just, that's how it goes.
Not on Long Island, not in the Hamptons. Beep, beep.
Dang Hampton. Beep, beep.
Don't know why I did that.
We got one more game, Sarah. We're gonna be playing.
All right.
And you don't have to be, there's no concierging, no vacation in this
Oh
game.
my gosh. Something not travel related.
Well, actually, we're on a trip. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, actually.
This game is called Ad Break.
Okay.
So what's going to happen, so this might tie into your radio past, which I didn't even know about. So we're going to begin a scene. I'll give us a suggestion of a, let's say, relationship.
Okay.
And then we'll just start the scene. At some point, I'm going to call it Ad Break. We pause the scene. You're going to improvise an ad break, hopefully based off something maybe we referenced in the scene leading up to that. You'll do the ad break, and then we'll come back from it and continue the scene.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see.
I haven't done this. Like, I don't, if ever.
If ever. All right.
Maybe a long time ago.
Maybe a long time ago. All right. We're going to do, one of us is a police officer and one of us is someone who's been arrested.
Are we just going to figure it out on the
Yeah,
fly?
we're just going to figure it out.
Okay.
All right. I'll black us out when we're done.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me have some of your coffee, officer.
Least I could do. I do appreciate you being so forthcoming with sharing all the information of the recent bank robbery. That will actually bode very well. I mean, right now, obviously, you still need to remain under arrest, but
Yeah, of course. I understand.
possibly
Formalities.
Yeah. Formalities, exactly.
Well, yeah, it's just, I mean, honestly, can I be honest with you, Officer? Officer Delaney?
You should be honest with me, Frank.
Thanks. Well, I told you about the robbery because it didn't really go that well.
Clearly, that's why you're here.
Yeah, it didn't go well. So I was just like, well, maybe this isn't my calling.
Probably not. And
Yes.
by the way, I'm really appreciative that we're having this conversation because a lot of criminals.
Yeah.
I mean that
That's me.
in
That's
the nicest way.
Well, it's looking that way.
It's definitely looking that way. Don't necessarily come to that realization until they're already in jail.
Yeah.
And so maybe in this time where you've been arrested,
Yeah.
but
sitting in this interrogation room.
oh no, it hasn't been fully committed.
That's
yet.
a two-sided mirror. I know it. It's got to be that one.
Yeah, don't worry about what's on the other side of that.
Okay.
Hey, Bob. This is the time where we can have this conversation and you can maybe think about what life could be if you were not a criminal. Maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. Maybe there's an easier way to make $1 million than stealing it, or at least trying to steal it.
Yeah, you're making some good points. I was thinking, yeah, this could be a pivot, but I see this more as like, do you have any feedback? Like, if I were to like rob again, like maybe what could I do differently? Like, maybe is just there like a rubric that y'all have, or
Well, all right.
sorry, can you pass me that maple bar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Here you
Sorry,
go.
thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just I can't have coffee without a donut and donut without coffee.
That's fine.
Yeah,
No,
synergy.
happy to serve.
Thank you, sir. Serve and protect. Oh.
That's what we're doing. Serving and protected. Yeah. So, I don't normally share this advice, but I'm glad you asked. It's all about the group that you're with, and you want to make sure that you've got a team. You have to have minimum 3 people, but at max no more than 5. So 3 to 5 people, because once you get more than 5, it gets clunky. Mm-hmm. And
Ad break.
Thanks so much for Pepto-Bismol. It always makes my tummy feel calm. I love Pepto-Bismol. Cheers. Didn't have that one planned out.
Okay, so you're saying it's about the group of people that I'm with.
100% about the group of people.
So you said 3, but no more than 5.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to...
Yeah, we ran a crew of 7.
Oh, that. Yeah. Wait.
Stupid idiot.
7.
Sorry, a little upset.
So-
I just-
Yeah. Maybe. Please keep enjoying your maple bar, but maybe
thank
you
you, thank
could
you.
write down like some of the names of some of the people that were in your group of 7.
yeah, no, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm not going to run with those guys again. They stink.
Yeah, they
Boo.
suck.
They're terrible. You are bad at robbing.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel right now, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like if my dad were here, he'd be like, son, I always knew you'd be a failure, even at crime.
yeah.
Like that's what he would say.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I did this, you know?
No, definitely.
It's like I wanted to prove that I could do something big.
So, totally. So
it's-
you've got
it's
this.
hard.
This you guys were a team of 7.
Yeah. It's too much. Too many heads.
You had 6 other people
Too many
with
cooks.
you.
Yeah.
Too many cooks.
Yeah.
Did you have a ringleader?
Yeah. Well, actually it was me.
Oh.
Which is why I'm asking for some feedback because obviously, you know, I said, "Hey guys, maybe I could take this one.
Yeah.
Maybe Frank could get a chance." You know, I've always been kind of more like a background, like support guy.
So this is your first time sort of in a leadership sort of position.
Yeah. You know, and I did
Yeah.
one of those. You know, I did like an online like
Personality
Zoom
test?
class.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I did that first,
Yeah.
and then it led me to the Zoom class of like, you know, it's like being a together leader. You know, like
Yeah.
and you know, I thought like I got this.
And did you pick the team?
Yeah. Well, these were the buddies of mine actually. These are like high school buddies. You know.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, there's Donnie.
Always a Donnie. You should always actually have a Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie Polano.
So that was actually, Donnie Polano.
Yeah, Donnie
That's
Polano.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You always should have a Donnie.
Yeah, but he's out. I mean, his mask fell off
Oh.
during the robbery, which was just like, dude, get a mask that stays on your face. Like,
Yeah.
I should have ordered masks for everyone, but I
why
just said like BYOM, guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
BYOM. you know?
BYOM. Bring
a-
your own mask
yeah.
and don't look at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like basic stuff. And Donnie showed up with like you know, I think it's just bad. So Donnie Polano was there. You know, we had Dave.
Yeah.
Just Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
Dangerous Dave.
Dangerous Dave. That's good. I'll have to tell him that. Well,
Yeah,
if we're
well-
cellmates or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dangerous Dave.
Dave was there.
Yeah.
And Louis.
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 Always good to have
Yeah.
Louis in the group.
Yeah, Louis was in the group, and Sylvester.
Sylvester. Wow.
Yes.
Sly.
Yeah, old Sly.
Old
Yeah.
Sly.
Hey, you know, yo, Adrian. Yeah, this is kind of like
yeah.
this. Yeah, we mess with him.
Well, no, I mean, as you should.
He's not actually. Yeah, it's not Stallone.
Oh.
Yeah, his parents just really like Rocky. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wow. So,
Yeah. So yeah, just
good.
thank you for your feedback. I just
Simple things.
please don't send me to prison.
I mean,
Please.
I got a couple names.
Yeah, like I've given you some names. Like obviously I'm not good at this. So like, what's the threat? You know, of like letting me back out in the world. You know, like I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
So, like even if I, you know, hypothetically did try to do this again, I'll probably fail. So
Probably.
yeah. So like, let's, you know, maybe like worst case scenario, you made a friend, you changed someone's life.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that this is a pivotal moment for you.
Yeah.
And once you
Officer.
see, you know, Donnie, Sly, Sylvester,
Like they, you know,
Louis,
yeah.
you know, this is going to be life changing for them.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And for me too, you know, no matter what happens.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, wink.
Yeah.
Wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You should have another maple bar, by the way.
You know what I like.
I do.
Yes. So, like, it's like a maybe. Like, maybe I'll get out.
Well, I will say this. You shared a lot of good information
A lot of good
today.
stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good
Yeah,
stuff.
I've got a Google Doc too. I could shoot your way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
all right,
It's just kind of you know, just like a general breakdown of what the plan was. I don't need it anymore because it didn't work.
All right, obviously didn't work.
Yeah, and maybe you could leave some more feedback on
Yeah,
that too.
no,
Like,
I could
Yeah,
I could definitely do that.
yeah, I'd really like.
We'll just say as a disclaimer, I'm not the one that makes the final decision. but I do have some heavy influence.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to
So,
hear.
you sharing some names, pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
I'll take pretty good. Take pretty good. Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Thank you for being so forthcoming.
Sorry, you want to hang out like after this? I'll get released, of course, and
I
grab like a beer or
well, let's just see how the next couple days go.
either in 5 to 10 or 5 to 10 minutes.
That's a good one. They actually have comedy night in the prison.
Blackout! Oh
My God.
I'm going to prison already.
No.
Frank's going to prison.
Oh my God.
You're just stringing me along.
Yeah, I'm going to prison with my Pepto Bismol. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Sometimes it's the humor in the struggle. Struggling for sure.
Yeah.
Struggle was.
It was fun. It was fun. You gave me some good advice. I think, Frank was going to take that and either ponder it for the next 5 to 10. Or,
Totally.
Yeah. Figure something out.
5 to 10 minutes or 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. We'll never know.
Nope.
We'll never know.
Sure won't.
That's the rest is still unwritten.
It's definitely and will never be written.
Yeah, no, we'll revisit.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah. All right. So Sarah Dandashy.
Yes.
We're here at the closure of our episode. Are there any last words you want to leave us with? Anything you want to plug? I mean, you've got so many things, so many great ways to find you on social media. You've got a book that people can check out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know what's up. What's out there? Where can we find you?
I would say join along for the journey and follow on social media. Ask a concierge pretty much across the board, or Sarah Dandashy. But yeah, do that. Yeah. I think that's where the fun is.
That's where the fun is.
And if take it a step further, send me a DM and say, "Hey, I saw you on this podcast."
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Because it ends up being this cool full circle moment. So
yeah, it's like, how'd you find me?
Yeah. So check it
Cool to
out.
see the different ways.
Ask a concierge.
Ask a concierge.
Say yes to travel.
Say yes to
By
travel.
the way, that was actually my old podcast.
Whoa, say yes to travel. That's improv right there.
That is improv.
Oh my gosh. It's woven throughout your story, I think. I see it all over.
I am a natural born improver.
Natural born improver.
Exactly.
All right. I'm going to ask you one last thing to do for us, and then we'll close out. Can you give me like one line that your fairy character from way back in the day? Just give me a fairy line.
Oh.
What do you got?
Oh, good day, good sir. Oh, my name is Periwinkle Fairy Sprite. If you are wondering why I may not have my wings yet, it's because I'm a young fairy. So those are little nubbins on the back of my back. But does it look like there might be wings growing there?
Yes. Yeah. I see the nubbins.
Oh, good. Every time I grant a wish and it goes correctly, my wings grow a little bit more and the nubs get a little bit bigger.
Amazing. Right.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that.
You brought it back.
By the way, also, like, how ridiculous that a 15-year-old was making comments about the nubbins growing bigger every time she did it. Yeah. Oh, they were weaving in some innuendos there. But that's cool.
Yikes.
I was 18 years old.
Yeah, definitely. No. There's no issues there. No gray areas legally. Ugh, yikes. All right. Well, thank you.
On that note.
Thank you so much to Sarah Dandashy for coming on the show. We'll drop her socials in the linked up as well. Find her. She's got some great content. You went to like Antarctica or something? North Pole? Which one was it?
Yeah,
I was checking out that video.
Antarctica.
Yeah, Antarctica. Don't know what that is. But
that's on my blog post, Antarctica.
Check out her content. It's great stuff. As always, we'll be back next week with another episode of Improv for the Podcast. You can find us anywhere there's podcasts, including YouTube. Come check out some amazing sitting down improv that we just did.
Yeah.
But as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Improv for the Podcast was created by Matt Moore and Michael Lee Evans. Edited and produced by Michael Lee Evans. And finally, presented by Improv for the People. Interested in more IFTP? You can visit us at improvforthepeople.com or on our socials, such as Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Remember, new episodes are released weekly. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.